Hey guys, this is KSP with Tape, and today you join me for episode 8 of Kerbal Wars. I almost said KSP A New World. But anyway, we are at Odin Carrier and we've received a disturbing signal of an inbound fighter. It appears to be the Blade spacecraft, which we have not yet destroyed. It's a very hardy spacecraft. We sent our Corvette to destroy it, but it took out its fellow fighter in a station, but this seems a little hardy. But anyway, the only things we have right here are Scorpion fighters, so I'm going to get one, running and fighting. Although there's no pilot in there right now, so I had to get him in there. You can see how terrible the frame rates are at this point. I reckon in future I'm going to just have to have less fighters, maybe slightly smaller carriers. Not smaller carriers, no, less parts carriers. I have some in the works, some much better carriers actually, for various things. But anyway, right now we have to defend this one because it is a good carrier. Maybe I'll just turn some textures down while using it, I'm not sure. You can see I've accidentally drained one of the missiles of fuel, but I'll just put half of the fuel from the other missile in there, and it'll work absolutely fine. But anyway, let's leave the hangar and get after this, confront this Blade spacecraft, because it has been a bit of a problem. We've had numerous contacts with it, but it appears that it's by itself. They clearly haven't received any funding from the aforementioned corporation yet, which seems to be paying them for various defense things. In reward they get some sort of funding towards their evil goals. But anyway, you can see I'm just moving in with my solar panels out, only 4 of them because the frame rate was so bad I couldn't be bothered to get out the other 2. But yeah, I also had to do these ones manually because when I sent up 3 fighters at a time, it only did the action groups for 1. So that's annoying, but it's fine. But anyway, as I move in, I'm retracting these solar panels because we need to be in battle position so that we don't lose any, because it does need all 6 to operate that ion engine at full thrust. But now it's just a matter of, RCS maneuvering. We have a ton of RCS, so it's absolutely fine. But yeah, we can see it. It's still Blade 1, of course. Jebediah Kerbal down there, our fighter ace, of course. But yeah, anyway, skipping ahead, we've moved in a little more, and it looks like we have the initiative because we've responded pretty quickly. So I'm just gonna move in nicely and then fire off a couple of torpedoes. Hopefully take this down, or at least damage it. So yeah, just aimed nicely now, and let's set it as our target and get these missiles away. Hopefully now. I was hoping it would fire when I said away, but anyway, there they go, and it looks good. And looks like I was a bit close, actually. Still hit it, though, so that's not bad. He must be a bit discouraged, but oh, my pop filter fell down. But yeah, he gets a shot away, but it seems to be fairly inaccurate. And then another shot away there, but it's just too small a target to hit from a fighter with this kind of wingspan. So it looks like it's just bailing and only brought 2 missiles. It clearly hasn't received its... the rebels clearly haven't received their funding for much better fleets yet, which is good because we don't have a lot of stuff in orbit capable of doing much damage, other than our Corvette, but that's currently on patrol around Minmus. We should bring that back soon. It needs a little more fuel though, because it was designed with the idea of having liquid fuel oxidizer in mind. So we probably just need a new one. I designed a lot of my ships in .90, so the nuclear engines then required liquid fuel oxidizer, but yeah, not anymore, so they need more fuel in them, really. But anyway, gliding past our beautiful carrier and slowing ourselves down. But yeah, the fighter is still out there, and it would be nice to get rid of it, because, it doesn't appear they have much force in the area right now, which is good, because it means we can get our stuff in order, get our shit together before they come after us. But who knows when they'll start, getting more money. I guess they we haven't seen any signs of anyone doing any mining, so that it seems like there's nothing for them to protect at this point. We'll get a fighter back into his quarters so that he isn't too stuck in a tiny cabin. But we do have another fighter about on our battle station, although it's not much of a battle station right now. It's just a bit of space housing while we bring up the rest of the things. But yeah, this has been sent to protect this station core, but might as well go and take out this other fighter. Make sure, the best preemptive strike before it comes in and attacks the station. Although this station will be pretty hardy when it's all up and running, but still. So yeah, it's just a matter of burning into a higher orbit because, we're quite low down in this station and Odin is quite high up. So yeah, just a few little maneuvers and then another one here, just to, well, actually not to circularize our orbit, to do the opposite, so that we catch up with our target. And that's what we've done here, just a quick catching up, a little montage of burns until we've found our target, located him so that we can destroy him. We're pretty sure he's unarmed, unless he's got some more missiles in the last couple of hours, which we highly doubt. And we can see him here looking rather evil, rather scary in the black, with its blade-like wings. But anyway, let's move in fast, just in case, so we can get away quite easily. And we do have 4 missiles on board, so we should be able to do some damage. Quite similar to the ones the Blade was using, actually, which actually aren't the most effective, but hopefully we'll be able to... if I could just hack off one of those wings, that'd be really good, because that's where its missiles are berthed, and then it's basically useless, except as a battering ram, but hopefully they won't be doing that. The old Suestra maneuver. Anyway, the missiles are away, and there's a good explosion and a lot of debris, but the debris just appears to be on missiles, which is confusing to me, because that looked like a really good hit. But anyway, I am going to get another shot off, but it looks inaccurate, although it looked kind of like it went through the spacecraft, but I guess it went through the spacing in the wings. It does make it kind of hard to hit. But yeah, those are, well, lost, I guess. Anyway, let's... move away. We'll go back to our station. This fighter is really hardy. It's really hard to take down. I reckon it's those those thicker fuselage parts make it pretty tough. I mean, compared to the fighter we took down around Minmus, it's pretty tough. Anyway, it's time to go home to our station where we can be rearmed, refueled, all of that. Although it does appear I've actually left infinite fuel on from experiment I was doing. That's a thing, is okay, it's off now. I do apologize for that. I didn't intend that. I was doing some testing on the ground which required infinite fuel, just to make it simpler, and I left that on. I'm sure it wouldn't have affected it too much, but I guess that is some free fuel I stole, but yeah, it only appears to have... That's fine. Yeah, sometimes when I do testing I use the debug menu just because it makes it easy, hack gravity, infinite fuel, that sort of thing. But anyway, let's get ourselves our encounter with the station. It looks like if we just stay in this orbit, we're actually going to catch up with it. I do like those maneuver nodes. I thought I'd leave that in. It's a good, shows how I do my encounters, I guess. I just wait until I'm close enough. But anyway, it looks like we've got a station in the distance there. Just kill off a bit of velocity, so we're in a roughly similar orbit. And then move in for the kill. No, the opposite. Move in to defend the station. And yeah, it looks like, well, I'm not going to get closer right now because I'm not moving relative to it. But anyway, let's just burn towards it. That was pretty inefficient. I could have just moved my prograde marker, but I was pretty tired at this point. This was a lot of recording, and it was about an hour and a half of footage, but a lot of it was just quite long burns. It is a bit of a shorter episode. I'm sorry for that, but I am very busy right now with other things, so some of my videos may be shorter. At least it exists, I guess. But yeah, it looks like I've got my encounter. It's just a matter of, well, getting a little closer. So, well, a bit of a... What am I doing here? Some sort of retrograde burn. Oh yeah, there we go. Just, yeah, just catching up with it there. I was a little confused by that. But, yeah, 6 kilometers away, that's fine. I can maneuver in quite easily from there. And that's what we'll do here. Oh, no, this is a slowdown maneuver. This actually took me a while. You can see I left it in all the burns. I did quite a few because I was dropping down from a higher orbit and I didn't time it very well, so I just did lots of burns. I mean, I have a lot of fuel, so it's fine. You can see I do have quite a bit of fuel. It's a pretty decent spacecraft. But yeah, we are at the station now, and it's just time to fly over there and dock with it, so it feels a little safer, even though our fighter is unarmed at this point. But I'm sure we could deter them with the sight of, maybe if a lighter fighter came... Lighter fighter? That rhymed. Maybe if a lighter fighter came along, it would, be, scared away by the sight of a heavy fighter, even though it couldn't take down that blade. And the blade couldn't take down the light fighter because it was too small. So, light fighters are actually really good. The wings... I don't know. They make it kind of vulnerable, but this kind of thing can carry a lot more missiles, and the wings just protect it, so it's overall probably best. But anyway, Battle Station 1, we're right there now. It's just a quick maneuver in, a few burns of our engine. That was quite slick, that slowdown maneuver. But yeah, just head towards the docking port, I guess. Kill off all our velocity. It's sunset. I wonder if I'll be able to dock before actual sunset. Probably not, although I am coming in reasonably fast for a docking. I like to do these kind of as fast as possible sort of thing, kind of a little bit cinematically, just because, well, that's kind of what this series is about, you know, like sci-fi style fighters. Although sci-fi style fighters with you know, chemical engines and all that. But yeah, just sweep across here and move into our docking port as it goes dark, and everything is well, kind of nulled by darkness. I should really get the ambient light mod. Yeah, I did start this off fully stock, no mods, but well, it's not like it's going to hurt the series to have a few mods, and I do so many mods in my other things, I might put a few in, although I won't do BD Armory, that changes the dynamic too much. A lot of people ask me to put BD Armory in, but I actually have a series of battle stuff planned with BD Armory coming up. Very different, it's not just going to be the same thing, and it's, I don't know what I'm able to say, really. I mean, it's a bit of a collab thing, so you should, you know, stick around for that. I'm not going to say too much more because it's not actually my project, but it should be awesome. So anyway, teasing future projects. But yeah, this gargantuan rocket is headed to Minmus to refuel the Corvette, because it's, well, pretty low on fuel, and I'm not fully sure it can get back. Just because it, well, wasn't particularly well designed, it wasn't designed very well for 1.0. But yeah, this is a kind of a mix of SLS and Falcon Heavy, and I left the whole launch in sped up because I did quite like this launch. It went reasonably well, and I do like Falcon Heavy style, you know, vehicles, and with the SLS parts, it's really pretty baller. I mean, this is a pretty hefty launch vehicle, and it's because that top stage, the top stage below the fairings, that's actually got to go all the way into orbit. So it's about an 80-ton payload, which is, it's probably overkill. No, it's definitely overkill, but still, it's nice to have a very big rocket sometimes. And you can see the fairings disappear at 4 times time accelerate, and you can see I've forgotten a decoupler between the final stage and the payload, but that's fine because it's just got a dock with a Corvette. But yeah, you can see it's just a big orange tank, really, to refuel my spacecraft. But yeah, just getting into orbit, and it was, yeah, very nice launch. I've had a bit of trouble launching with the new aerodynamics, just not turning over enough, and I have that problem with Ferrum because I'm stupid. But yeah, it went quite nicely there, actually. I'm proud of that. I still do. I've been playing this game for a ridiculous amount of years, but I still do very much like it when I get a good launch in. But anyway, cutting through our burn, we are on our way to Minmus now, and we'll just leave this stage to be flung off, probably into planetary space. That would be quite a big gravity sling. But anyway, and then a quick plane change and things, so that we are on the right course with our nice big stage here. That's a very nice what is it, in vacuum engine. I've had a few problems actually testing on the ground because I like to use, obviously. Well, talking of my testing, I've been doing some testing of various fighters, and they don't really work because now the engines are so different in atmosphere than they are in vacuum. It makes it kind of impossible to test, which is something I've had to overcome. But anyway, moving in towards Illustrious now, our Corvette Mark 1. I should probably get a Corvette Mark 2, really, because, well, with more fuel. I have some spacecraft with, you know, more scope than the Kerbal system planned, a bigger carrier with more Delta V, and a slightly better design, side-mounted dolls and all that, and maybe some support ships, because we've heard rumours from our interrogated pilot we caught last episode about some sort of Duna-based contracts for the rebels. But anyway, moving in, and that was sped up, don't worry, that was 4 times time accelerate. I wasn't that reckless with my Corvette. And this is covered in RCS ports, basically. Pretty unbalanced, because it was made to be... well, the RCS was supposed to work without the transfer stage, but it's fine, I figure it out. But yeah, just a giant fuel tank docking with a reasonably big spacecraft. You know, nothing too crazy. But yeah, just moving in, and should be pretty good, although this docking should take a while, because it'll swing around a lot, because that's a small docking port. Because, well, I wanted minimal stuff on Illustrious, really, because... well, it's you don't want it covered in loads of things that can be shut off by fighters and things. But anyway, I was just going to cut through that because that docking took so goddamn long. And then it's a matter of refueling. I won't bore you with all of it. It took a really long time because I have a lot of fuel tanks in this. Actually, not that many. I've done it in a reasonably smart way, much better than Odin. Odin's a bit of bit of a poorly designed fuel system, very complicated. But anyway, after I have refueled that, it's time to send this into Minmus, almost smacking the Corvette on the way out and frying it with my exhaust. But yeah, this will slam into Minmus, and this will go home, as you can see here, cutting ahead. That was actually a pretty good jump cut. It looked like I just did it instantly, like, yeah, let's go. No, that took me a lot of planning, as per usual. But yeah, again, burns take pretty long with spacecraft like this, very heavy, not a lot of thrust. But yeah, just skipping ahead to this, we'll throttle down and head back to Kerbin. The big burn is actually going to be slowing down, because I don't really want to aero brake now with the new atmospheric effects. Although it shouldn't be too much of a problem, but still, I'm just going to do it, you know, a liquid fuel burn. But yeah, just slow ourselves down a little bit, and then I'm actually probably going to do this in 2 parts, so I can do a plane change higher up in my orbit, so so I'm more equatorial, and it's more efficient to do a plane change higher up, because, well, that's just how science works. I was almost going to explain that, but nah, that's just how science works. But yeah, and I left the burn a bit late as well, so I went quite far over my periap, so it wasn't a particularly good burn. I kind of forget with these large spacecraft that you need to leave yourself quite a lot of time to do stuff. You can see I bring it down quite nicely to a reasonable orbit, where I can do my plane change, and then and then bring myself down into a circular-ish orbit. The plane change took a while, and I did it at the wrong point, which I did cut out just because of time. But yeah, so it's on a bit of a skew-if orbit at this point. But yeah, just move my burn south so that I'm more equatorial. You can see it's hardly moving, but I am making myself a slightly flatter orbit. I don't know. But yeah, it's still got a decent amount of fuel, so it should be combat effective once I rearm it. And now it's just a matter of putting itself in a proper orbit, just circular orbit, and then I'll fly up some things next episode probably. And then I've got some bigger things planned next episode. I'm probably going to do something with a new carrier, so it'll be a little more exciting maybe. Although that engagement was quite fun that I did earlier. But yeah, so yeah, but there is quite a bit of, well, kind of a lot of what is it, like a management. I'm trying to think of the right word. Just a lot of there's a lot of little things you have to do to keep big carriers in orbit and flying around and things. It's quite difficult. But anyway, I hope you have enjoyed this. This has been KSP with Tape. I will see you next time.